Welcome to English Storytime Adventures. In today's video, we're going to listen to an exciting short story that will help you improve your English skills. Listen carefully and follow along with the subtitles. Before we begin, here are some key words you'll hear in the story. Pay attention to their meaning and try to use them in your own sentences later. Complicate. To make something more difficult or complex. Tram, a type of vehicle that runs on tracks, usually used for public transport in cities. Maturity, the state of being fully developed in body or mind. Acting with wisdom and responsibility. Download, to transfer data or files from the internet or another device to your own device. Now that you're familiar with these words, let's begin the story. It was a sunny morning, and the team was ready for another day of filming. The movie, titled The Journey of Life, was being shot in the heart of a bustling city. The set was alive with energy, as the director, crew, and actors prepared for the next scene. Anna, the assistant director, stood near the tram station, checking her clipboard. The plot of the film wasn't complicated. It was a simple story about a man's journey towards maturity, filled with small moments of joy, struggle, and self-discovery. But what wasn't simple was the filming process. Managing a large team, coordinating with the actors, and keeping the schedule on track always seemed to complicate things. Anna felt the pressure every day, but she loved her job. The chaos of the film set was something she had grown used to. "All right, everyone," Anna called out. "Let's get ready for the tram scene." The crew moved swiftly, setting up the cameras around the old-fashioned tram, which would serve as the backdrop for an important moment in the movie. The tram was an iconic part of the city, and the director had insisted it be included in the film. In this scene, the lead character, played by actor James, would sit quietly on the tram, reflecting on his journey so far. James was known for his calm, mature performances, and this role fit him perfectly. He arrived at the set, already in costume, and greeted Anna with a smile. "Good morning. Is everything ready?" he asked. "Yes, we're almost set," Anna replied, "just waiting for the camera to be positioned." James looked around and noticed the complexity of the setup. Lights, sound equipment, and multiple cameras were all positioned around the tram. "I guess nothing is ever as simple as it seems," he said with a laugh. "Even riding a tram can complicate things when it's for a movie." Anna nodded in agreement. "That's true, but that's what makes it exciting, right? We take something ordinary and turn it into a story." The director, Mr. Collins, appeared from behind the camera. "James, we're ready for you. This scene is crucial. Your character is supposed to realize his maturity here. Make sure you convey that." James nodded. He understood the weight of the scene. The tram ride was a metaphor for life's journey, sometimes slow, sometimes bumpy, but always moving forward. As the tram moved along the tracks, James sat by the window, lost in thought. As the camera captured his every move, the director called, "Action," and James began. He stared out of the window, letting his emotions slowly build. In the background, the city passed by. The buildings, the streets, the people, all part of the world that shaped his character's journey. It wasn't just a tram ride anymore. It was a moment of reflection, of understanding, and of accepting the person he had become. After a few takes, the scene was done. Mr. Collins clapped his hands. "Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. You nailed it, James." Anna smiled with relief. One more scene down, many more to go. She pulled out her phone to check her schedule. As she did, a notification popped up, reminding her to download the latest script revisions. She sighed. Technology made some things easier, but sometimes it also made things more complicated. "Let's take a short break before the next scene," Anna announced. "We'll be filming the street scene after this." As the crew began to relax, Anna walked over to the tram. She sat where James had been sitting and looked out of the window just as he had done in the scene. She thought about her own journey, how she had started as a young intern on film sets, learning the ropes and gaining experience. Now, as an assistant director, she had matured in ways she hadn't imagined. The journey had been challenging, but it was hers, and she was proud of how far she had come. As the day moved on, the crew continued filming. More scenes, more takes, more moments to capture. Anna stayed busy, running from one place to another, making sure everything went smoothly. Despite the complications that came with filming, she loved every minute of it. By the time the sun began to set, the day was almost over. Anna stood at the edge of the set, watching as the crew packed up for the day. She thought about how every day on set was like a journey, just like the tram ride. There were ups and downs, complications and successes, but in the end, it all came together to create something meaningful. As the crew finished, Anna received another notification on her phone. She smiled to herself. It was time to download tomorrow's shooting schedule. She would be ready for whatever the next day brought. Great job following along with the story. Now, let's review the key words we learned today. Complicate. To make something more difficult or complex. Example from the story. Managing a large team, coordinating with the actors, and keeping the schedule on track always seemed to complicate things. Tram. A type of vehicle that runs on tracks, usually used for public transport in cities. Example from the story. The crew moved swiftly, setting up the cameras around the old-fashioned tram, which would serve as the backdrop for an important moment in the movie. Maturity. The state of being fully developed in body or mind. Acting with wisdom and responsibility. Example from the story. Your character is supposed to realize his maturity here. Download. To transfer data or files from the internet or another device to your own device. Example from the story. As she did, a notification popped up reminding her to download the latest script revisions. Now, let's check your understanding of the story. See if you can answer these questions. Question 1. Can you think of another word to describe the mood during the filming of the tram scene? Question 2. What do you think the tram symbolizes in the story? How does it connect to the character's personal journey? Feel free to pause the video and write down your answers in the comments. Great work today. Well done. You've just completed another story with English Storytime Adventures. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more fun and educational stories. And don't forget to leave a comment with your thoughts or answers to the questions. I'd love to see how much you've learned. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next episode of English Storytime Adventures. Until then, happy learning.